place that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back. Thanks everyone for joining us. I'm Zada.
And I'm Kelly, and you're listening to
Two Sides in the Truth. Welcome to 2023.
Woohoo, we made it.
We did make it. I came into it sick. Last year I started 2022 with COVID. This year I started it with strep throat.
At least you're consistent.
I'm doing better.
Strep throat?
Yes, I just got over it. That's why I said I'm not contagious anymore whenever you hug me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, and cat's out of the bag. We have a special guest in the studio with us today who you just heard.
She's embarrassed.
That is my best friend, Merrilee. Everyone say hi. Hi, Merrilee. Woo.
We have a crowd, but I don't know which button it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's none of them.
It's
Oh,
okay.
there it is.
Yay! We're professionals, okay?
I feel like Al right now.
Did you see how seamless that was?
I
That was
like how
amazing.
the yay was in unison. It was in unison. So Merrilee is here to join us, and we asked her to come in and give us a love story because we're starting a new year.
Yeah, so
We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we thought with a new year, it'd be nice to hear a good love story. Because some
Who
people
doesn't love a good love story besides Sunday?
We'll bring her another time. That's another episode.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to meet her.
We'll do that one around St. Patrick's Day. Okay, what you got, Merrilee? Tell us your love story. Tell us about you. Who are you?
Oh,
Who are you? Yes.
Who am I?
Interrogation time. Who the heck are you, girl?
Merrilee, where are you from?
I am actually from South Georgia, Americus, Georgia.
I've never heard of that.
Yep.
Americus.
Americus.
I like it.
We're right next door to Plains in Sumter County. My mom went to school with Jimmy Carter's sons.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
so
I bet they were nice guys.
I don't even know. She hasn't ever mentioned it.
What?
I know. Remember.
I'm telling you, I met George Foreman's kids, and those kids are awesome.
Oh, wow.
I'm seriously really
That's
good
cool.
kids. Really, all the Georges. They're all
All
named
the
George
George-
and
they
Georgina
are.
or something like that.
They
Yeah.
are. I love
good,
it.
but good people, well raised.
Awesome.
Yeah, for real, good parents. Anyways, so Georgia, and then you moved to Texas when?
So mom's been married. She's on number 6.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow! We got a challenge to Sherry Vaughn. Oh.
And so-
What's mom's name?
Mary Jo.
It had to be Mary Jo. Hell yeah, it's Mary Jo. That's my that's my mom's surprise sister's name.
Really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
we didn't know, but my mom had a sister.
Oh,
Surprise!
wow. Surprise.
My mom never knew because she passed before she ever knew it, but that's her name. I
Oh,
believe it's
no,
Mary Jo. But I
really?
think she even listens to the podcast. But
Hi, Mary Jo.
I've never met her.
And there's another Mary Jo here in town, Mary Jo Blaine, Billie Jean's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Billie Jean would have Mary Jo as a sister.
You know what's funny is there was 5 of them. So now it's just Claudia, Billie Jean, and Mary Jo left. And
What's Claudia's middle name?
I don't know what Claudia's middle name is.
Her parents, man, that was not the
But-
favorite.
Billie Jean, when she would call people, she would say, yes, my name is Billie Jean King, and no, not the tennis player.
I was about to say, wait, the tennis player? I didn't know that was her last name.
Yeah, she said, no, the tennis player was married into her name. I was born with mine.
That's the difference.
We had to tell everybody who she was. So when Kelly and I first started hanging out, Kelly, that's where you live when I.
Yeah. I was her roommate, and she was the coolest roommate.
And how old was she when you were roommates?
Well, that was just about
3-4 years
three
ago.
years ago.
And she just had a birthday. Give me a second.
I'm gonna guess
She was
computing.
born-
I'm gonna guess 80.
No.
She's in her 70s, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean?
She was born in.
Getting there.
Yeah, we just had a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Claudia came into town, and we all went to dinner.
We
So-
definitely collect mature
We do.
friends.
I do for sure. You like unless
you
you
still are.
you have to like
You
be
still
at
are
least-
mature friends.
Oh, I know. That's what I do.
She stole mine. She stole
I know.
yours. You see the.
I seek out mature women and
men.
I befriend them, and then
Then
I
I
take
steal their
all
friends.
of their friends
You take
that
all
are
our
older.
senior friends,
Only the ones that are
citizen
older.
friends.
I don't care about the ones that are my age or younger. Anything. No, that's fine. You have to be at least in your 40s to even pique my interest, and that's just just a little peek. Okay, really, if once you get into your 50s or 60s, then I'm really interested.
She's collecting our senior citizen friends.
Yes.
the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just like to learn from y'all. Okay,
I loved it because we would go over to her house, and y'all both lived there at the time.
Yeah, we did.
And we'd go over there, and it was like the Golden Girls.
It was
The house looked like the Golden Girls house.
I really wish we could just backtrack and go back there.
I wish-
'cause I need that situation.
That would have
again.
been a good YouTube.
Yes, we could have sold
The
tickets
house
to
was
that show.
decorated like the
was
Golden
perfect.
Girls.
It was
in kind of a
absolutely-
retirement-ish community.
Well, sort of. It's over off a gingerbread lane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is for
was
people
perfect.
that don't know that
Yeah.
is like the golf.
Yes.
It's by Al. It's the golf court. Golf. What is it? Course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Area.
country club area.
Country
is.
club area.
Yeah,
The
I
alley is
loved
across
it.
the
I
street.
loved living there. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
It was funny.
the
That's
good
funny.
old days, man.
Kelly, man, you are the collector and stealer of senior citizens.
You've been warned.
Well, I moved in with Billie Jean because Tanya sold her duplex, which was right across the street from Billie Jean. Billie Jean's best friend of, 40-something years had passed away earlier that year. And Billie Jean has multiple sclerosis, but that never put her down at all because she rode her scooter.
Yep.
And she would drive her van, and she would, at 11 o'clock at night, take her 2 giant thermoses to racetrack, call racetrack, and say, "Hey, it's Billie Jean. Can you come get my ice, thermoses, and fill it up with Slurpees?" Because that was her.
She was the icy queen,
right
man.
there.
She was the
And
icy queen.
they would come out, fill them up, bring them back out to her. She'd pay for them and come back home. I mean, it didn't stop
And
her
was
at
she
all.
like
was
a
a goer.
championship square dancer?
No, she was a singer.
Singer, like
Yes.
quartet,
Yes.
barbershop quartet.
Sort of, yeah. It's
I remember
called-
the pictures all over the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Kelly, man, you are a collector of cool
do,
friends.
yeah.
You're the female Tim. You know Tim,
Yeah.
that you went to the funeral for Tim. Tim liked to collect people that he liked to talk about. He said he liked to collect interesting people, and he considered me an interesting. I was the most redneck thing he'd ever met, and he didn't know what to do with me. He said, "You're as close as backwoods without being backwoods I've ever met, but you're not even backwoods. I don't know what. I'm trying to figure out what you are." And I was like, I don't
Keep trying.
I don't know
Keep
either.
trying.
If only I knew that, But you remind me, he was the same way. So like he was my friend in Houston, and he's passed, but he collected like the elderly woman in the neighborhood, and they just would call on him to do him all their favors, and
he
he
was
would
the
do
honeydewer.
it. He was the honey, but he was the cat babysitter. Because he was a little
That
bit of
is
a crazy
great.
cat guy, and so he would babysit all the neighborhood old elderly ladies' cats when they went out of town.
That's awesome.
It was pretty funny, and he would like literally enjoy
Well,
it.
that's what I do. Tell her what you're doing, Merrilee. She's going out of town.
I am.
Where are you
Again?
going? Where are you going?
I'm kind of
Tell her.
scared
Tell her.
going to Spain.
She's going to
You
freaking
are?
Spain, man.
Yes.
When? That's more than out of town.
Next month.
Yeah, the beginning of February through the 15th.
Oh, that's way out of town.
Yes.
Just you and Robert?
No, a few years ago, Robert and his motorcycle buddies, dirt bike riding, went to Spain because Graham Jarvis lives in Spain. He has a house in Spain.
And that is a BMXer, I assume?
He doesn't do BMX. He started out like as a young adult. Oh gosh, he was probably 7 to 10 years old, started riding trials bikes and became, the best at that.
Yeah.
And that's where they jump from like rocks to boulders and do contests and stuff. And
I
then
did
he
not
went
know
in-
that, but
then
good to
he-
know.
They don't have seats on the trials bikes. And
Oh.
then he went into enduro racing and became the world champion at that. But he's from England. So they all went over a few years ago and rode dirt bikes with him. And
Now, did someone know him? Or is this like they
Yes.
were like, we're going to go and meet this guy and make him hang out with us?
well, Robert's best friend Jody.
I'm curious how this happened.
That's what I would do.
That would be awesome.
Robert's best friend Jody, and they all go to Red River in Munster in Bolcher, Texas, to dirt bike ride.
Okay.
And Graham was there. He was doing a clinic. Jody got to know him. Graham has
So they got invited.
yes. So Graham has started taking Jody to like Ecuador and all these other places where he does his dirt bike and enduro racing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So they've all become friends. And
So you're going to go hang out with all these like old school, badass BMX men.
well, it's not BMX. BMX is actually bicycle riding, and that's what Robert used to do.
Okay. So this is,
Dirt bike riding.
Okay, those are different.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does it all.
I didn't know those were different.
Yeah, they're different.
Bless your heart.
Bless I don't know if you can hear that. My heart.
Yeah, I'm still learning, but yeah. So we already wanted to go to Spain for part of our honeymoon because Robert's favorite movie is The Good, the Bad, the Ugly,
Oh, yeah. Good one.
which came out in 1966.
Okay. Is that when he was born?
He was born in 67.
Okay.
So in 2016, fans uncovered Sad Hill Cemetery, which is at the end of the movie where it's a three-way duel between Angel Eyes, Tuco, and Blondie.
Which I'm guessing are bike riders.
No, this is...
The movie.
Blondie is...
Oh, I just assumed they were riding bikes in this movie.
No, Blondie is Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that's right.
This
We're
is
back
a
to Clint
spaghetti
Eastwood.
Western.
Okay, now I'm... Yes. Okay, yes.
So The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
I remember it now. Now exactly know what you're talking about. I've actually seen that movie now that you say that.
Okay.
Okay.
So they...
Been a minute.
Yes, it's... Yeah. So they unearthed the cemetery. And so we're going to go see that. That's one of the things we're going to do while we're there. But we're going to like fly into Barcelona, hang out, do mopeds, train ride. And this bullet train goes like over 100 miles an hour. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And go to, well, no idea how to say it, but it's Magala or Magal, M-A-L-A.
I would butcher it worse.
Yes, that's where Graham lives.
Now, how many people are going on the trip?
I don't know.
Have you ever left the country before?
I've been across the border in Canada, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
And that was with Robert. Before Robert, I'd only been back and forth between Georgia and here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a huge change.
And guess who's watching their animals for them?
Oh, the person that doesn't like animals.
I didn't even ask
She
her.
didn't ask. That's
You know she doesn't like animals?
No, she didn't ask me to do it because she knows me.
I know her.
She wasn't going to ask
so
me to
I
watch
wasn't
them.
going to ask her. She's allergic to cats, and she doesn't. That's something that she just doesn't do.
No.
And when last night we were talking about it, and she's like, "Well, I could do it," and I'm like looking at her, and I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, I knew she was stressing about it and
Yeah.
being able. I mean, those are her kids, and I don't want.
As long as they don't require her to like snuggle with them.
No, they don't.
No.
And I don't want her to not have a good time or worry about her. Like, so I'm like, I can do it. And she's like, I don't want you. I'm like, I can do it.
I
Yeah,
even
no,
asked
she
her
did.
again this morning because last night we had been drinking.
Yeah.
And
Were
so
you
I
really
was
saying-
I know, because
"Are you
originally we were
sure?"
supposed to meet for mimosas and breakfast this morning and then brunch.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
We'll get into that.
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't my fault.
No,
Me and
not at
Cosmos
all.
don't always get
Work out
along,
great.
okay?
Yeah, no, no.
I understand. It was good that she rechecked. Okay,
Okay,
that's
so
my friend.
So tell us your love story because whenever Kelly said you were going to do the show with us, I was like, well, she's going to tell her love story because it's a good one. Because we have a lot of listeners that have, been through the first breakup, marriage, trial marriage,
trial error.
that's practice marriage.
I've had 2 practice marriages.
You like to really practice,
Not as much as my mom.
or mine.
And let's see. I was 12. We lived in the colony. That's how we got out here, was because mom was eloping with another one. And
The Colony is a town outside of Dallas. For those that we have listeners all over, and that sounds like it's like the colony, it's like you were in a cult, but it's not. It's the suburbs.
well, back then we didn't even have a McDonald's.
So back then it wasn't even a suburb. It
the
was just
horror.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, not at Red Oak back in the day. Yeah, we had nothing.
So met him. He was always on his bicycle. Always on his bicycle. He was 15. I was 12. He was always without a shirt, just in the little short shorts,
In the 80s,
Yeah,
they have a
80s.
mullet. I'm
No.
trying to picture the whole thing.
No.
Did he have the wings?
No, he's got that black curly hair. and so it was
the
long,
shag.
Sort of.
Yeah,
But
I like that.
Got
was
those
like a
ringlets
fro.
and stuff.
I wanted it to look like you were. When I was in high school, I wanted it to look like you just might have robbed a bank. If you looked, you could have either robbed a bank or hailed Satan. That was the guy I was going for. What's wrong with me?
I can show you his senior picture. You
Or
can
maybe
see
that
what
you were.
his hair used to be like.
Maybe if you looked like you were the guy that had all the pot.
Yeah.
And I didn't even smoke pot, but I wanted the guy that looked like he had all
I
the
wanted
pot.
you to
Right?
think my boyfriend smoked pot.
I think
Yeah.
Since he was 15, I think he already had a little mustache going on.
See, yeah.
So
yeah.
he was really tan, and knee socks because he wore his
it was the
shin
80s.
protectors in
Yes.
his socks, right? And so fresh out of Georgia.
Yeah, that was
So when
just
I
adorable.
said, "Mom, Robert Saucedo wants me to be his girlfriend," she goes, "You're not going to be that little Mexican boy's girlfriend." I was like, Mexican kid's boyfriend or boy, a girlfriend. And I was like, okay. So I went and told him. My mom says, like,
Sorry, I can't date a Mexican.
Yeah,
So
because that's fun to break.
yeah. So
Whereas my parents are like, you can't find a Mexican anywhere.
Are you really
Why do you
looking?
keep dating these loser white guys? Not one of them.
right. So I gave him a picture. We used to get the little wallet-sized pictures from school.
Yeah.
And I wrote on the back of it, and I said, "To Robert from Merrilee Wiggins, I love you." And in parentheses, I put shh. Well, that's my 12-year-old handwriting right there. My tattoo is scanned in the photo and tattooed.
And he kept it all this time.
He kept it all this time.
Aww.
Just, and he always wanted
That's
to
so
know
cute.
what
I didn't even know
happened.
this part of the love
See,
story.
I wish somebody loved me that much.
Yes,
Shut up.
everybody loves you.
I know. Whatever, Kelly.
Okay, back to your story.
Merrilee just whatever. Everybody
I like
loves
how y'all
you.
just rolled your eyes at me in unison.
Out loud. Yes, we rolled them
I'm
out
like,
loud.
bitch, come on. Everybody loves you.
So he and his brothers.
Hang on. Let me mix my drink.
Okay. Yeah.
There's our new sound
Everybody,
effect.
everybody take a drink. Ready? Cheers.
Oh, I'm out.
Cheers. Yes.
Damn it. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you're out.
Side day. Well, yeah, I'll go next door in a minute.
We'll take a break.
Keep
Intermission.
telling your love story.
So he and his brothers moved to Irving. We moved. Mom found another one. We moved to Flower Mound, and then in less than a year or so, we moved back to Georgia. So
Mary Jo, man, you're out of control. Get some. Come on, Mary
Get it
Jo.
together.
we moved back to Georgia. When I turned 22, I started talking to an ex-boyfriend that still lived here in Texas. Came back to be with him. Didn't work out at all.
Never does.
But started seeing another guy that I had dated in the 9th grade who we dated for 6 weeks, and he broke up with me because I was a prude. And his mother told him he would regret it.
You wouldn't put out.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
You
It
know,
was just,
You little tease.
I got a little story about that.
okay.
I had a little boyfriend on and off through high school, and he was Mr. Alternative because that was the look I was going for. Like I said, he
Yeah.
looked like your local pot dealer, and he was actually my brother's.
Matter of fact.
He was actually my brother's pot dealer. Anyways, fast forward. So we dated on and off. And he goes and he had this long blonde hair to his shoulders. And of course, that was the look I was going for. You know, it was like 1990 ish. And he cuts it off real short and starts listening to rap music. And I was like, this is not going to work out.
Wow.
I was like, you no longer look like you're selling. I mean, you do, but you're selling it to a new crowd. Okay.
Yeah.
I need you to look like you were just at the backstage of Jane's Addiction, and you were in fact at the backstage like Eminem. And now I recognize Eminem's wonderful. I just couldn't think of a crappy rapper. name.
I know where you're going with that.
Anyways, yeah, it ended the relationship. That was the end of the love affair. But he broke up with me one of the many times we broke up because I wouldn't put out. I was still a virgin and I wouldn't put out. And I mean, I knew that's all he wanted. I wasn't stupid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I wasn't doing it. Well, then he goes and he loses his virginity to somebody. And she was kind of a little town hoe. This is so going to get around. 'cause, you know.
Oh, no.
And everyone's going to be like, who was it? Who was she dating again?
Tell
What
me on
was
the
it?
down low. Tell me later.
Yeah, I will. Okay. And anyway, so he goes and loses it to Little Town Hoe, and they break up, and then he immediately comes back trying to come back to me. And at this point, I've lost it to someone else. I just wanted to get out of the way, but it was not going to be to him.
You've waited too long. No, I'm sorry. You can't have this.
No, yeah. And so I'd found out about him and the little hoe, and so he comes back. He was like, "Well, you already did it. I already did it." You know, I was like, "Yeah, but you did it with her." So
You picked wrong. Sorry.
So we're not doing that. Never. And I never would. That was the end of the relationship. And then like I dated like 3 more people before I met my ex-husband. And every time I would start dating someone, he'd call me, "You sure you don't want to get back together? Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm positive. Remember you were that hoe."
Did you forget? Let me remind you.
I don't know if you remember this. And I'm going to tell you that little hoe was about the only girl from high school that's never friend requested me. So I'm taking a wild guess. I got out. I called her a little hoe. I apologize for slut shaming you. But I'm pretty sure you slept with him while he was my boyfriend. So,
Sorry, not sorry.
There's your 1990 Red Oak High School drama. You're welcome. My heart, not
There you go,
theirs.
there you go.
Okay, go ahead. On with your love story.
So fast forward, actually, before I came back, I think the year after I graduated high school, the year you were born, he joined, he went to Japan to do shows because he had gotten really big into, it's called Flatland, which is tricks on the bicycle.
That's all you got to say is he's really good at tricks. Just already over my head. I'm already oh wow, tricks.
Good at tricks.
Yeah,
And then he came back and he joined the circus. So he was,
of course he did.
He was with circus for 10 years. He actually used to ride his bicycle from Irving to Plano because that's where one of his best friends lived. That's how he met.
So for those of y'all not from Texas, that's like a 45-minute drive in a car.
Yes. So
On the highway.
On the highway. And so this is back in like the late 80s.
Yeah. So it was country road. Still kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's where he met his ex-wife because she lived across the street. So they would go do competitions, him and his friends and stuff like this. And he became #1 in state in 1986 on ramp, scooter, and flatland tricks.
So like at the height of all the BMX and biker movies and skateboarder movies.
Yes.
I know this is before your time, but you've probably seen breakdancing movies.
It was rad.
Remember Rad? Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
fast forward a little more.
I forgot about Rad. Yes. My brother was obsessed. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yes,
well,
I remember.
He ended up working with the first person that ever did a backflip on a bicycle and a dirt bike. His name is Jose Yanez, and he was with Ringling. And Robert did it in 89 and then started doing it with the circus after that. So he's the second person to do the backflip on a bicycle. So that was what his performance was. He had people come join him.
Yeah.
And they did the circus for 10 years. He traveled all over the place. And then settled down here back in Waxahachie in like 96, 97.
Of course, because when you're doing circus, it seems like Waxahachie is the most logical decision.
Right. So he said,
What?
He said anytime social media came out, like MySpace, that kind of thing, he would look for me just to see what was going on. Well, he finally found me like April the 10th of 2010.
At 6:49 p.m. She's pretty specific.
Yeah, so,
I thought she was like guesstimating until she was like the 10th.
and then I was married at the time. He was married at the time. And,
Clearly not happily because now you're married to each other.
well, at the time, no, everything he knew about me, my marriage was fine. Everything I knew about him, his marriage was fine.
Yeah.
And then a year later, mine served me with divorce papers. He had stuff going on in his that I had no idea about, of course, because we didn't talk for a year. Because I told my then husband, I was like, guess who found me? And
he probably wasn't happy about that.
He was like, y'all have unfinished business.
No, ma'am.
I don't want you to be his friend. So I unfriended him.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
To a degree.
To a degree. I mean, we never hugged. We never held hands or anything.
It was just a crush.
Yes.
I mean, that's a little ridiculous.
I know, but obviously there was something because now look.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end you did end up together.
You don't quit looking for that
feel
love
like
of your life.
If you have that connection with somebody, I feel like as much as you want to hide it, it's there.
Yeah, you can't help it.
Yeah.
We actually just talked about it again about a week or two ago because he brought it up that, he just thought I was the coolest person back then. And I'm thinking I was 12. How was I cool?
How cool was I at 12?
And he's like, well, you always hang out. Well, there was only boys on our streets.
Yeah.
And we play, hide and seek in the dark, and I just always hung out with the guys and I always got along really well with the guys. That was just easiest for me, and he just thought it was really cool. And even then at 15 knew I was his soulmate. And I thought it was the sweetest thing,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, so he found me, and a year later, because I unfriended him that next day.
Yeah.
Because my ex-husband, I said, my husband at the time, he's old-fashioned. You know, he doesn't want me to be friends with you on Facebook, even though you're married and, you know, you got 2 beautiful daughters, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, but that's the way,
forever.
Yeah.
And because they'd been married for 22 years, I think, at that point. So anyway, and then a year later, or more than a year later, we started talking again because him and his wife had a granite business. And my ex-husband's sister wanted to buy this piece for their mother's grave because she had passed away recently. And anyway, so he and I started talking again as friends. But in the meantime, my husband at the time served me with divorce papers. And, you know, so it's just so about a year and a half, about a year later after that, he and I started talking and hanging out and bicycling, and then
So is he divorced at that point, I guess?
Yeah. So, but there's so many like little similarities. Okay, we're 3 years apart, all right, in age difference. So when I was 24, I had my daughter. When he was 24, he had his oldest daughter. My daughter's name is Elizabeth Gabrielle. His daughter's name is Jasmine Elizabeth. And they were both born on September 22nd.
Oh, that's crazy.
When when we started talking, we found out that I worked less than a mile from the shop that he was working in at that time. And he was working at the Ritz-Carlton, and they had entrances that you would go in, and they had meeting rooms. So all these little signs on the wall were like, shh, which was this.
Oh, yeah.
And
the tattoo. She pointed to the tattoo, yeah.
Yes, sorry. And then, like, he has a baby brother that he is 17 years older than, and his name is Christopher. I have a baby brother I'm 17 years older than, and his name is Christopher. So it's just...
Yeah, very similar.
A lot of similarities.
Rick and I have no similarities. None at all. Nothing. I got nothing. Our parents, both our parents smoked weed. I mean,
there we go. Look at that.
That's all.
Look at that. You thought you didn't have anything in common.
He tells me things will slip out about when he was younger, and I'll be like, "Yeah, no, we would have never dated. No, nope, not gonna happen. No.
Oh,
polar opposite." And that's what we talked about earlier, is opposites attract. That's what Kelly and I were talking about.
We're getting,
Yeah, we're about to go that direction on how opposite you can be and it work out. But sometimes it is good that you have similarities, whatever the case is. But I think sometimes when you have opposites attract, it can be good or bad, I guess.
Yeah, it really can.
We are,
Who knows?
We are opposites. And
I see a yin and yang in y'all because you're like us. You're a talker.
Oh, yeah.
And he lets you just talk.
And he's a talker too.
He talks too, yeah.
He will put his hand up and be like, "Hey, I need to say something."
He did that last night.
Yeah, he did.
But
and y'all were drinking, so it was extra bad.
Yeah. When I knew him back then, though, when we were kids, he was really shy. He was very quiet. And so when he told me he joined the circus, I was like,
What?
What? Are you kidding
what?
me?
Who? You?
The circus.
Yeah. And so now he's like a chatty Cathy.
Oh, yeah. He's very
he
social.
loves-
Well, yeah, he's been in the circus.
Yeah.
He's got some stories to tell.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. He was in the circus. Do you know anyone else that's ever been in the circus?
No,
I don't.
That's one of the reasons I was so happy to make him as a friend. I was like, yes another
now,
awesome
on
one.
my bingo card. Hang on, friend that's been in the circus. Damn.
Telling you.
I mean, what's next? What's next?
I need someone in the CIA.
Let me think. Do I know anyone? I don't think I do. Oh, I do. I did.
Okay.
I don't know if it was true or not. I
It's okay. As long as he makes me believe it, I guess.
don't. I
it's
mean,
all
the
right.
CIA showed up to our house and questioned us.
Ooh, okay, that's close enough.
Yeah, one of my moms. She didn't marry this one,
Oh, okay.
but we did end up with the CIA at the house.
Yeah.
Asking questions about where he was. We didn't know at that point.
Yeah.
Except on TV on the commercial for Hair Club for Men. He was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The OG Hair Club for Men.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My mom was dating the guy that like came out of the pool.
No way. Are you serious?
Yes, back in the 80s, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't have any hair, so I don't think that was real. Because he didn't really have hair. But he did a
CIA.
lot of steroids. He was all Mr. like bodybuilder, and older. But yeah, he was there one day. His van was there one day. Mm-hmm. and it disappeared. He had a really nice like conversion van. This is like 1990-ish.
Yeah.
And this is 91, about 91. It was one of my mom's first boyfriends after her divorce from my stepdad. And so we're living in a trailer park, the one I talked about before without the running water. It was a rough bout. And Mr. CIA shows up and he's got a lot of money. So he like buys my mom a new table. It's really fancy and like a boom box.
He bought her a boom
He
box.
really did. It had a CD player.
Oh my gosh.
It was jamming.
Fancy.
And he like gave her money to put into the trailer and get it nicer, and she did. We had running water, and he paid for all that stuff, And he would take us out to dinner, and he really liked me. He was really nice. His name was Joe, I think. I mean, that's what he went by. And so Joe, they got engaged. She had a big diamond.
Oh, wow.
Then she tells me I'm going to New York to meet his daughter, and I'll be back in like a week. And my sister was supposed to go to her dad's. She's like in the kindergarten, maybe. I'm in high school. I'm like, okay. Bye. She gives me like $40. We'll be back in like a week. I'm like, all right, bye. She leaves. She didn't come back for like a month.
Oh my gosh.
This is before cell phone. So like, she's just gone. I'm like, I don't know. She's coming back. My stepdad brought my sister back. And I'm like, yeah, there's no mom.
No mom.
I don't know what
I
we're gonna
have $40. He's like, here's more money.
That's good.
Get her to school. And so this went on for about a month. And she comes home. And she's like, oh, I ended up in Florida.
Florida.
Sorry I didn't call. I don't know what really happened.
Yeah.
And I will never know to this day. And I mean, everyone's dead that could tell me. And so she comes back and she was like, oh, I was in Florida. And I met his daughter and we broke up.
This sounds like me.
Yeah, and but before he came back with her before they broke up. He did show up one or two more times, and he had his van with him. And then we woke up one morning and his van was gone, and he was not calling the police to look for it.
Oh, okay,
And I was like,
that's a red
"Aren't you
flag.
gonna call the police? Like that's weird.
Like,
that
no,
your
we're not getting them involved.
van is missing, and you don't want to call the police. No, I have it handled. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. All right. So then I never saw him again. Except when the commercials for the hair club would be like, come on. I'm not kidding. Oh my God. And then the CIA came by and sat us down and questioned us, and I knew nothing. I didn't know why we were, and I was like, Mom, why are they here? She was like, I don't know. She knew.
Of course.
Definitely knew.
You definitely have to play dumb.
I do remember she told me one time that he had a wife that was upset.
Uh-oh.
And she did like married men, but she said they were separated. But I know my mom.
Yeah, of course. They all say they're separated.
Yeah, so Sherry Vaughn. I have a Sherry Vaughn. You ever married Joe? I had a Sherry Vaughn, and Sherry Vaughn taught me a lot in life.
That was a wonderful CIA rabbit hole that we just went down.
I mean, I will take you down a rabbit hole.
I love
Sherry
it.
Vaughn will really.
So
She
much.
could really.
She really
This
will.
really podcast is just Sherry Vaughn talking from the grave a lot of the times. The things she didn't want to admit. Like I know if any of my family members listen, I guarantee you most have no clue about most of this. And I even said the other day to my daughter, I was like, "Do you think they think I'm lying?" I don't know. My mom ever told. My mom was really. She went to jail and lied to everybody. She told everybody she was visiting me for Christmas. She was in jail. And I had to cover for her. Then when she died, and I told people, like, yeah, we knew. So I don't know what they really know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sherry Vaughn was quite the entertainment. Let me tell you, I'm boring compared to her.
It would
Anyway.
have been nice to have met her too.
She was a character. She was a character. She was very nice to meet. But after about 3 hours, you were like, ooh, I gotta.
Okay, I'll meet you again some other
I'll
time.
see you in a minute. You're a little overwhelming. She was overstimulating, and she might shoot at you. She could leave you in a desert. I don't know if I've ever told that story.
Okay. We'll get there.
Yeah, I got left in
All
a
right,
desert.
Merrilee. So back to Robert.
Yeah.
How long was it before y'all got back
I need
together?
a refill now. Keep going.
So it was 28 years.
28 years, and then they were
When he found
reunited.
me. Yeah. Then when he found me on Facebook, and the night that I just happened to be sitting at the table on my laptop and looking at Facebook, and there he was, and I was like, and then we got to talking, and I was married, he was married, and then didn't talk to him anymore for a year, but I had gotten the butterflies in the tummy, going, because I had such a crush on him,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a photo of him. I just had it in my head. I still remembered, but and then when I brought up to my mom that she said that about, no, you're not dating that little Mexican boy, She doesn't remember saying that, of course.
Oh,
But
convenient.
I met his mom for the first time when I was 41, and I told her that story where mom said that, and she goes, "Oh, honey, you should have sent your mom over. I would have straightened her right on out." You mean you would kick my mom's butt? That's what you would have done. So, because his mom was probably more white than my mama,
Yeah, that is funny.
But it's been
It worked
a
out the way
roller
it's supposed to
coaster.
work out, though.
Yeah, it did.
So y'all got married how long ago?
June the 18th last year.
Yeah.
So it hasn't even been a year yet. Yeah.
They're about to have their first, what is it coming up? February, Valentine's Day.
As a married couple.
Oh,
Yeah.
how sweet.
And y'all will be in Spain.
We will.
That's cool.
And we're going to be in Spain for my birthday.
Yeah. That is an awesome first Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, birthday. That's awesome.
I can't get Rick to leave Ellis County unless I promise him he can kill something.
Well, just tell him you can take him overseas and he can kill something exotic.
That's a
probably
thought.
not. He'd probably get in trouble for
We've
that. but-
discussed that, and he's not willing to go.
Okay,
We've
well.
discussed it. I've tried. I was like, what if we just went? We could go to Canada. Let's just start with Canada. No,
Yeah.
No, they're too nice. And really, he doesn't want to go anywhere he can't carry his gun with him, like on the
Yeah,
plane.
I understand.
Oh, yeah.
He has a hard time with the gun. He has gun separation.
Oh, I understand.
So I'm sorry if I offend anyone that listens to us that is not gun friendly. Apologize.
No.
I've-
Everybody's different.
If you've clearly not been paying attention to the podcast, if you didn't get the fact there were guns laying
you can
around.
just go ahead and stop now.
They're not laying around, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So Kelly and I were talking about the whole like opposites attract, Rick and I, her and Dante, and just in general. Because like Rick and I are very opposite in many ways. I'm the talker. He rarely talks. And a lot of everything he says is smart ass. And whereas I'm more like, I love and flowers. It's love and flowers or I'm going to cut your head off.
Yeah, there really is no in between.
I do threaten him on a regular basis to hurt him. I mean, he knows I'm joking, but he was like, I could take you out real quick. I'm realized, but let me just threaten you. But we're just very, very opposite in many, many ways. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so Kelly and I were talking about it because she was talking about with her and Dante.
Well, the thing is, me and Dante are, we're different in a lot of ways, but we're very similar in a lot of ways. He's really not a big talker when he's at home, and he gives me exactly what I want because I'm not a big talker. I'm not a big affection shower. And it can be really hard to be in a relationship with me. He does it really well. He manages it really well. But I've gotten to the point where it's like, he gives me everything I want. And that's wonderful because he's the perfect guy. Like, what could you want more than this perfect guy who treats you exactly how you want to be treated? And then I still get driven crazy though. I
have the perfect song for this. Remind me when we leave here to play you. And oddly enough, it's Jamie Lynn Spears. Kid you not.
Really?
How could I want more? It is the perfect song for this conversation.
I'll have to
we'll
listen
we'll
to
go
it.
back to
I'll
this.
have to listen
Talk
to
amongst
it.
yourself.
But-
Go back.
But I've gotten to the point, obviously, I've always been a runner. That everybody who knows me, all my family, they just know I don't stay in one place for more than a few years. I have to move. I don't like staying in the same house for too long. I get anxious when people start knowing where I live. It's hard for me to even go out and walk around. I like to go for walks. I like to take myself for walks to stay healthy and being outside. But it gives me too much anxiety to do it alone, especially if I don't know the neighborhood. And I usually don't know the neighborhood because I'm moving around everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't put down roots anywhere. So, but that keeps me going. That keeps me running because I can't root anywhere, and I can't. It's almost like I can't be happy for too long. I do it to myself. I have to run away from the situation.
You're a self-sabotager.
I do. And I try not to. I work so hard with my mental health and through therapy and to do all these things to help myself. And I definitely have felt like I'm getting to a really good place, but at the same time, I still struggle with so much. And part of it is where I live. And I love living with Dante, and I don't want to be apart from him, but I've gotten to the point where it's really hard for me to live with teenagers, and he has teenagers now. And I first saw this becoming an issue because I don't live well with kids. That's why I
Yeah.
never had any. And I don't really ever live in households that have kids.
Yeah, it overstimulates you.
It does. It's too much. And even if it's nothing, it's too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't even have animals.
I told her earlier, my kids overstimulate me.
And they're your kids.
And they're
Yeah.
mine.
So
But I literally am like, you're overstimulating me. Go over there.
Yeah. And so it's gotten to the point where it's hard for me to be there a lot because unless I have the house by myself, which
We can hear you drink pouring. Merrilee's filling up her cup.
Merrilee
Is filling her cup.
it's just H2O, okay? It's not even nothing even exciting.
I'm about to get if I get up and leave, I have the coughs.
Yeah,
and I'm
she
going to
got
cough.
the Please don't cough on me. You
I
can,
may
you
go
can
get a
exit.
shot of whiskey even to get me through the cough.
That's fine if you need to.
I have a cough drop in my mouth. I'm good. Continue.
All right. Well, so one of the things that I am trying to, and we've all talked about this. I've talked about it to Merrilee, and I've talked about it to Zada because I try to talk to my friends and do better of talking out my feelings and what I need because that's what I struggle with. And I've created this just thing in my head and overthinking because that's what I do about how I could fix the situation, how I could make myself feel better, how I could help my mental health in the easiest way. And really it is, I have to change my living situation. If I'm stressed at home and I can't find a place to center and reset, then I'm not going to be mentally healthy in other places in my life. And so it is me, like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to not live with Dante, but I have to look at the pros and cons of, is this going to make my mental health suffer? And he is very accepting and he is very smart and he's very much wants to do whatever's best for me and help me in any way that I can. And so I don't know why it is so hard for me to talk to him and open up and ask for things that I need. And that's always what I struggle with. And I've been pushing myself to try and be better in my relationship and do it. But have I been able to do it yet? No, I haven't been able to do it yet. Because I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't want him to think that I don't want to live with him because I do. And really, in so many ways, it is helpful for me living with him. But at the same time, I have to take into consideration the things that are really difficult for me. And it's difficult to share my space with anybody. It's difficult to share my space with myself. So any other person, if it was just him, he is so wonderful because he is so neutral and he can just give me my time and he doesn't have to talk to me and he'll leave me alone. And he's so wonderful for me in that aspect. But then at the same time, he has kids in the house and that creates a problem for me. And I love them but they're teenagers.
I told her when we started talking about this, I was like, I think to save the relationship, it might be a good option for you to move out. Mm-hmm. Because he gets these last few years of his kids being home with him and enjoying those few years because it's a fun few years.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they still get to just be fun for each other. And I think that's what helped Rick and I for so many years is that we were each other's fun.
Yeah.
Every Friday and Saturday night. And he would tell me, we're married. We're just like married. I consider us married, like we're committed, like we're married. And I was like, we're not like we're married. We don't have to do any of the bad stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't pay bills together. Right. I don't have to listen to his kid bitch. He didn't have to listen to my kid's bitch. Like he didn't have to worry about the dish the kid left out. He didn't buy the milk that the kid let go bad. Or the other day when I went to make a salad and like 2 pounds of tomatoes were gone. I'm not joking. The biggest thing of tomatoes you ever seen, and my son ate them all in one night as a snack.
What?
And Rick's daughter doesn't do. He's never had a teenage boy.
Yeah.
So he's not
different.
used to.
Yeah, I know.
You open up the fridge and literally like a tornado went through that fridge, and he's growing. And so I'm like, where's the? I got real worried that he'd eat my Rick and his damn tortillas. Have I mentioned this on the podcast? Him and the tortilla ladies at HEB are like best friends.
It does not surprise me.
He has to have his HEB tortillas. Like he has to have them, right? And so the other morning I get up early and make his breakfast, right? So I'm making his breakfast and there's no tortillas. And I'm like, holy shit, where are the tortillas? This is a problem. Zol must have gotten up and eaten all, because he'll eat it all in one sitting, like an entire everything.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, he ate these. I totally like pegged him for the guilty party. It's just, I'm talking 4:30 in the morning. I'm waking him up. Where are the tortillas? Did you eat all the tortillas? did you eat all the tortillas? And he's like, no, I didn't eat them. You're lying. You ate all the tortillas. No, I didn't. What am I going to tell Rick? Somebody ate all his tortillas.
The cat got him.
So I made like special toast to like offset the fact there was no tortillas. He comes down and says, I'm sorry, babe. I look everywhere. I can't find the tortillas. It's almost ate them. No, we ate them all yesterday. When I made those tacos last night, I was like, damn it. I just... But that's just it, is that this is a growing pattern that for 10 years we avoided, that you didn't get to avoid. You had to go straight into that. And you're in the difficult years.
I know. I didn't get the fun.
Because they can barely wipe their ass at this age.
No.
I'm just being honest. Like, you're going to find things in laundry you get pissed about, you know?
I know. I don't. And
you didn't sign up for that.
I did, but I didn't.
When they come out of your vagina, it is completely different.
But I know.
You have an intimate relation. They came out of your vagina.
So I just have to do what I have been trying to do, and that is open up, explain my needs, and just have that conversation. I just haven't had the conversation with him.
I just have a hard time seeing him not be understanding, because he is such a great guy.
He is, and that's why I know it's all in my head. It's this
you
narrative.
I think you just told us so that you are forced to tell
That's why
him.
I do this.
You
this
totally
podcast
just use this podcast as therapy.
It is one of the only reasons that I have in my head agreed. I was like, okay, this will be a good thing for me to do. This is totally not against, but it's just not my thing. It's
when we
not what
talked
I
about this at
usually
lunch,
do.
I was like, we don't need to discuss it. She was like, oh no, we do.
No, we do.
We're disgusting.
Not that anybody probably even cares. Hopefully they do care, but I like to keep it real. And I like to. I don't want to have to just create content and just whatever. I want to just talk about what I want to talk about,
Right.
what I'm really going through, what I'm really
And
dealing
that is
with.
real life about this age group, between your age group through my age group. When there's still kids at home, either with the dad or with the mom, it affects the relationship, and you have to be ready to be the parent or the person in their life that's expected of you by everybody included.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like Rick's expectations of me towards Madison is different than my expectations of him towards my kids. We have different expectations towards our children because our children have different people in their lives. So my kids have an occasional, they have their dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They do have their dad. But they don't have a lot of grandparents and stuff, that we don't live near anybody. Whereas his daughter has a very supportive uncles, grandmas, great grandma, like aunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she has a very close network close to her, whereas I have a much bigger network, but they're further. So we don't have that same. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so I think Madison would have had a hard time with my family of me. It's just me and my kids, man. We are an army, the three of us, and then the five of us when, I had my other two home.
Yeah.
And it's Rick, and his army is his extended family, and my kids don't have that. So it's just very different. I don't know how else to put it, but, you don't have a blended family, but you don't, because they're already out of the house.
Uh-huh.
But you have to understand holidays. And when you blend a family, you blend holidays, you blend moments, you blend memories, you blend to lifestyles. Like Rick has to have damn gravy on everything.
Gravy's a lifestyle, okay?
It is for this man.
It is.
But
And
meanwhile,
Robert has to have this.
yeah.
Yeah, sit down at the table. He needs snacks.
He needs a
before
snack.
Dinner. He eats snacks.
But the
before
thing
dinner.
is those
appetizer.
those are two lifestyles you have to marry together. That where they mesh, and it doesn't always work out. So like Rick and I are very opposite, but there are certain things that complement each other. You know what I mean? And so that's where, I can't get on my last nerve, but I need him to put me in line.
Whenever you were talking about the fact that y'all didn't move in together until after his daughter graduated, and so it would make it easier. And I'm really taking that in because, like, I do believe that there's just steps, and you have to just make changes when they need to be made.
Right.
And I think that it would be healthy for me to be out of the house and them have their house, especially at this difficult teenage stage.
Yes.
That's too much for me, and it's not my job to handle it.
Right.
And so I need to remove myself from the situation to make it easier.
And
on
they
me.
have a mom that's involved, and they also have grandparents that are
Yeah,
involved.
I mean they're good.
So
They-
that's Madison. She has a really good support network of Rick's mom and Rick's family, and they're a really good support network. And at some point, I'm stepping on toes, and it's not the situation that I'm necessarily encouraged to be. So I get to just be like the fun girlfriend of the dad. Like I get to do all the. I tell you, in 10 years, I've never had one disagreement with that kid.
That's awesome.
Like the kid's awesome. Not one disagreement. you know, and because I get to be just awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have to do
I just
anything
get to be
bad.
awesome.
All I can do is be fun, Zada.
Yeah.
You know,
And I want to be fun Kelly. And I've just noticed that I'm just not necessarily that.
So you're
And
not enjoying it as much, yeah.
And I need a place. I need my own space, and I do have my own space there, but it's still it's still in the household with a family, and it's just too much for me.
Yeah.
I get overstimulated, and I
I'm
don't
gonna
want to
tell you,
take it out.
I just got my apron made.
An apron.
I got an apron
Her
made
apron,
that
yes.
says on the front of it, ask yourself, is this worth asking mom to turn Tyler Childers off? Because I listen to Tyler Childers when I'm cooking, and my kids keep coming and interrupting me. But what it started as me designing was, and my original design was, you're overstimulating me. Leave me alone.
So this is just saying that in a funny way.
And I do say it to my children and to Rick. And I don't know that I was necessarily overstimulated before Rick got there, but now the combination of one more person,
Yeah.
I get overstimulated. And I did not realize how much I enjoy my quiet time was I'm cooking and my podcast listening, and that's when I listen to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Your Zen time.
And I listen to, because I always listen to our podcast so I can kind of, you know, decide what I did well or what I didn't do well or whatever. And then also I listen to Tyler Childers a lot, or, you know, my country music. And my kids keep coming and interrupting. And I do want to talk to them. Mm-hmm. Can we just make it one full conversation? Do I have to turn off my podcast 800 times? Do I have to turn off Tyler Childers 800 times? Like, I'm trying to enjoy this song.
My
And it's
favorite
just-
song.
You know, and but I get that because you know, they're overstimulating. Those are my children.
Yeah.
But there are times I'm like, I got to go to my room. And now, when all 4 kids come home, now that I'm out of practice, I have to like hide sometimes.
Yeah.
And Kelly will be there, and I'll be like, "Look, watch the door."
You're the lookout.
They're overstimulating for me. Rick gets it though. He does get it. I will tell you that. And he gets overstimulated. He just goes upstairs and watches TV.
Yeah.
He just hides.
Well, see, yeah, and that's good.
And I'm okay with that because I get that it's overstimulating. You know what I mean? But I see where you're coming from. And I think that he's an okay enough guy.
He is.
I don't think all men would handle that well. I
No.
do think he will.
I do too.
Please don't prove me wrong, Dante.
No, I don't think he.
I believe in you.
Me too. I mean, he's an awesome guy.
He really is. He's everything I could want or need.
And I'm sorry I knew before you. No, I'm kidding. I had
We're
to
just
say it.
helping her out here.
Well, listen, I'm her therapist. I've been sick the last few days. We would have resolved this 5 days ago.
I know. I've just been waiting for Zada to get.
I was so sick. I was like, I hadn't talked in days. It hurt to talk. My kids were trying to talk to me. I was like, I can't answer. I don't want to talk.
I'm sorry.
They were like, that's weird.
My talker's broke.
It's broken. Anyways, well, Kelly, thanks for I guess update us. I don't know where.
I know
I'm going to get
will.
updated.
I don't know
but,
how
you
long it's going to take me to actually do this, but last time I brought up, you know, a thing I was dealing with on the podcast, and it really helped me to then take that next step because, you know, you almost have to. You're checking yourself, you know, and so I'm glad that I'm doing that. And we'll see how it goes.
All right, well, keep us updated. We were talking about also New Year's. I don't want to say resolutions. We touched on this a little bit on the last one because it's not really. I don't think either one of us made a resolution.
No. It's just how's it going? What are you trying to do? What are you
Yeah.
trying to do that's better or
Did you have a
different
resolution or did you have a goal or what are you doing this year?
I have a goal, and it has to it's body work is really what it is.
Just working on you or working on body work as in working on you as a soul, as in your whole?
Probably as a whole. Time management, I suck at that.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Feel you.
So much so that my sister sent me a meme and I've printed it out and put it in my office.
You are bad at time management though, because we do plan events by lying to you about the time.
I know.
I don't know if you know this about yourself.
She does. She knows.
So apparently I was supposed to be born at the end of January and wasn't born until like the second week of February.
What?
Yes.
So it started off this way.
I'm January
It's never changed.
27th. Are you? What are you?
February the 10th.
What is that? Is that Aquarius?
Yes.
Me too. Makes sense. We're a lot alike.
We are.
We are. Yeah. We're
So-
good people sometimes.
Yes. So
When we're bad, you won't know.
not at all. My uncle even told me, I drove to Americus in 1999 because my baby sister was having a graduation party, graduating high school. And my uncle, who's my favorite uncle, he's the one that walked me down the aisle when Robert and I got married. And he told me, he said, God forbid anything happened to you before me, I'm going to slash the tires on the hearse so that you are late to your own funeral. Okay. So at the wedding, we're playing the shoe game.
Were you late to your wedding?
No. My Aunt Kat kept telling me I was running late, and I wasn't late. And we so much so that we forgot to put the stickers that supposed to hold the wedding dress on my boobs. And we forgot.
You did have. I saw the pictures.
Not staying on those boobs.
They were not staying on. But anyway, so in the shoe game, they ask questions, and you're supposed to hold up your shoe or his shoe.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yes, and the question came up of who's always late. I didn't even have to hold up a shoe because everybody in the crowd said Merrilee.
We know the answer to this one.
Yes, so I always. And it doesn't matter. Like, I was late getting here because I had a mishap with lotion in my eye and my contacts. And I'm like, what?
Always
I'm
something.
trying to leave
You know what,
the
Merrilee?
house.
We already knew you were going to be late. It was already
I
planned.
know
We had
you
already
did.
planned.
It was okay.
But we love you for it.
But
Me too.
That
We just love the fact that you acknowledge it. You're not like playing dumb. Because I've had friends in the past that are always late and then offended that you're like, you're always late. You can't get offended if that's your personality. It's your personality. It is who you are.
And I do
I forget
try.
everything. I can't get offended when someone's like, you forget everything. Damn right, I do.
Yeah.
Same.
Rick's like, you don't listen? I said, no, I heard you. I just forgot. I did hear it.
I promptly forgot.
But within 10 seconds, it was gone. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Robert's on time is 15 minutes early. So it's a really big pet peeve for him to be late all the time. And so I really do try when I know it's really important, or even when it's not, I really do try to get ready early.
So is this your goal this year is going to be more on time?
That and the body work. I'd like to be able to bend over and tie my shoes without dying.
I'm with you. And if you would like to join me, I would like to do the same. And mine is the same thing. I just want to be comfortable in my body. And, I'm going through the menopausal stage.
It's
going through the change.
If I could stab menopause in the face, I
Yes.
would.
And I would totally help you. I would.
I want
freaking
to
hold.
You
slash
would
the
hold
shit out
menopause,
of menopause.
and she would stab it.
I
And
would
Rick
hold
would probably help us because
And then y'all
menopause
could
has been a
switch.
bitch to that man. He's
God
like, I'm
bless
going to
him.
go down to the garage. When it's safe, let me know. I'm going to go.
Now, my menopause is apparently somebody's told me that I don't act like I'm in it, but I am. I've passed the peri. That happened the day we touched down in Jamaica. I had my last period, so that almost 2 years
Yeah.
will be,
So you're
But-
in menopausal. I'm still in peri.
I'm full in it.
Yeah.
Full-fledged.
I want them to just come in and rip every inch of shit in there that's causing me problems out.
I don't understand what the hot flashes are about. They start in the middle of my back.
I don't know.
if
And I
I'm-
went to the doctor for strep and they were like, give a temperature. I was like, fuck if I know. I don't know.
I'm all over the place.
I've been having temperature problems for years. You tell me, do I have a temperature? The lady's lost her shit. I said, you tell me. She was like, definitely in menopause.
Check.
I started having hot flashes when I was 49, and I'm like, what the fuck is
Okay,
going
well, I'm
on?
not even 49 yet, and I've been having them for years. And listen, my mom passed away, at 61 and had cancer for years. So they took all that shit out of her. So she wasn't a good gauge, okay?
Yeah.
So after she passed away, and I realized I should have asked her more about this, I asked my aunt,
Yeah.
and one of them's like, well, I just woke up one day and it was over. Like I never went through menopause. Just I had periods and then I didn't. It was a perfect experience.
Oh God, I hope
Like
that happens.
the angel of this woman, everything in that aunt's life has been perfect. Like she is an amazing person and has been very successful in life, and everything happens beautifully for her. My other aunt was like, well, they had to rip all that shit out really young. I wouldn't stop bleeding, and so I don't know. So I'm like, am I in between those two? I don't know what's going on, but all I know is I want to rip it all out. And I am a raging bitch half the time, and the other half the time I'm crying now over the dumbest shit you've ever cried over.
I'm very weepy, but I'm not.
I'm not a crier, but I will cry over like
I'm the
a
same way.
TikTok.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I'm like, that poor man had to cut his hair. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna
And
make
like
it through.
cat videos, don't get me started. I would cry over a cat. And I'm talking a happy cat, not even a sad cat. That cat is so happy. Stupid. Oh my God, you're stupid.
I have started having to sleep on a ginormous towel in bed.
And not even for the fun reason.
No, not at all. Not even. No. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my arms, my legs, they'll be wet. I'll have to throw the covers off. And Robert's making fun of me, telling his buddies.
That was like Rick when he was sick. Remember, he was soaking me. I got up and changed the nightgown. He was sick, and that man wouldn't complain. He would just, you wouldn't know he was sick except at night. He would sweat like you would not believe. And I had to get up and change the nightgown that was soaking wet laying next to him.
Right.
I hadn't had a hot flash that bad. I was like, dude, stop touching me.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's he's like, we sleep under a sheet, 2 blankets, and she's got the ceiling fan on high. She's got the little heater going in the bedroom.
She, your she.
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, she.
I'm like, wait,
You know,
who's
he's
she?
telling his buddies, that, and he's freezing to death most of the time, and I'm like,
See, that was us. We went to that stage, and now I'm to the point that I'm cold all the time when I go to bed. And I am, the night before last, I went to bed with leggings, a tank top, a sweater, wool socks, an electric blanket, and my extra winter blanket. And Rick is over there dying. He is like in his underwear with no blankets. And I'm like, it's not going to be, I'm really cold. He's like, hell no. A, you're contagious.
yeah.
B, you're literally in flames. Like, no, stay away
about
from
to
me.
spontaneously combust.
He's like, but I do love you over there. Just stay over
that
there.
last night about the spontaneous combustion in the back seat of the truck, and I was like, we got to roll down the window.
I need a window.
Unlock the window,
Child
please.
lock, child lock.
Yes. It's crazy what it does to you. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
And
crazy. And hormones and weight gain. And like now I just look in the mirror. I'm like, I don't even know that bitch.
Y'all make me
Right.
not want to get any older.
Well, that's the thing. This is what's messed up about it. Okay. I got 2 points to hear. First off, you lose your eyesight around the time you get chin hairs. I'm going to put that out there. Good luck with that.
Okay.
The other thing is, all this shit happened and you gain weight and everything, but now you've gained wisdom and you don't give a shit. Like you've gained wisdom to understand that it is what it is.
yeah.
And you know what I mean?
I'm taking notes.
So
over
God is careful about that. He was like, okay, I'm going to make
gain
you
weight and wisdom. Got
and
it.
don't give shit.
And zero fucks.
Because now I'm like looking in the mirror. I'm like, he don't like that. He can go get somewhere else. 'Cause
Right?
That's all I got to offer. This is it.
I got
This
two.
is it.
I've got two. One, there's no way in hell I could sleep in clothes at night because I would die.
So don't have a fire.
Right. And two, my baby sister said, it's your inner bitch playing with matches. I said, fuck no, she's not. She's playing with a blowtorch.
Yeah.
She upgraded. Okay. Flame thrower.
I mean, my whole forehead
Yes.
would get wet. My arms
You're
would
trying to
get
put on
wet.
makeup and you're sweating before you finish.
Yes.
Like you get the mascara on and by then everything else is melted off. And you're just like, what the hell just happened?
Exactly.
Bless y'all's heart.
Wait. Bless our heart.
It doesn't
yeah.
make any sense. I don't understand. at all.
So yeah, good luck, Kelly. This is where you are, where you get.
It's okay. At least I'll have friends to help me through it.
I
This is
mean,
the only question I
at that
will
point,
ever
we're
have
going to be
forgotten.
completely batshit crazy and just be laughing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. We're gonna be
As
fine.
if we're not already, but you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah, it's good times. I'm really loving middle age, y'all. It's awesome.
Can you tell?
It's awesome.
Can you tell
I
us
put on
happy?
Facebook the other day. We had talked about getting merch and about going and possibly doing some YouTube videos, and everyone agreed on the YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, they
Oh,
were.
like to
I'm sorry,
video
but
you
Kelly
guys?
is not sold. I'm sorry, guys.
okay.
Kelly's not sold
We're
on the
working on
YouTube
it.
stuff.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to be every
you're
episode.
getting my voice. I'm not gonna get on camera for you.
And if you want to see what she looks like, you just go to Rocket and listen to her sing.
There you go.
There you go.
Our Kelly Lady Pearl on
I do.
Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So the last time we did go to Rocket, I had this guy came up to me and he was showing me a video on his phone that was of me singing. And one of his friends had tagged him in it and has been tagging him in videos of me for years because he's also a singer. And she's like, you've got to sing with this girl. You've got to meet this girl for years. And he was holding me. He's like, this is you, right? And I'm looking at the phone. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
That's not weird. Did y'all sing?
Yes, they
yeah.
did. It was
What did y'all
great.
sing?
I can't remember now. picture and then another country song. It's
always wanna sing
I
picture.
know. I didn't even say. I never.
Did you
that's
tell him
never
this is a
what
karaoke movie?
I know. But we did another
you're
one
trying to
that
play
was
the
really,
lead?
I think it was Need You Now. We did Need You Now.
Of course
by,
you did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and y'all were gonna do Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
That's the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay.
So, I mean, it was
forgot.
fun. It was fine. He did a good job, but I could tell that he was like almost, not that I'm anything like special. I mean, I guess some people, I just don't see myself that way, but looking at him, it was like almost like he was starstruck. Like I finally met this girl kind of thing. Like it was interesting.
I was watching him. He was sitting at the table over there.
I've
and
seen
she's
it.
up there singing.
He's just like,
I've seen the look
Yes.
many times. Many
Yes.
times.
Yes.
That's usually when I'm like, that's my girlfriend.
yes, yes.
Exactly.
You step back.
That was last night. I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna have to break out the taser, but there she goes.
Oh yeah, for those listening,
Yes.
the taser friend
This-
is Merrilee.
yes, this is
the
Merrilee.
this is the infamous "I will tase you," and
This
she's
is
not joking.
my first friend to ever tase somebody for me, and
I feel like you stole that moment from
Still
me.
cannot believe that dude didn't. Next time, I'm just going straight for the freaking neck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should have.
lesson learned.
The side.
Yeah, he was a big guy. You should have just
Okay,
gone
well,
for the neck.
lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it stays charged now. You know.
Fully charged.
But last night, I'm sitting there watching her because I don't know. They swapped places, right?
Wait, last night?
Yeah, we went and had drinks last night.
At Applebee's.
Oh, okay. This isn't karaoke. Okay.
No.
No,
Just
and,
drinks.
She's sitting there and she goes, "Okay," and she actually literally moves the guy away from her.
Because they get closer and closer and closer and
his
closer.
friend is sitting next to me, and his friend's married, and so we're
He's
just
not trying to
kinda-
engage like that. Yeah.
No, he's not trying to engage like
He was
that
trying
at
to
all.
be a wingman for this guy.
I get you. Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, he needs to be careful. And he's like, yeah, she looks like she could take care of herself. I said, yeah, she can. I said, if she doesn't stab him first,
I will tase him.
yeah. So it's like,
We have a history.
dude.
And then if that doesn't work, Zada shows up with a gun.
Yeah. I mean, you're
It
gonna
just
go down.
progressively gets worse.
And, I wasn't carrying said gun because
I know,
I
it's-
had been drinking already.
Yeah,
and
we
you're
were
not
being
supposed
smart.
We're not
to,
questioning you
so-
carrying the gun.
Yeah. But I can carry my taser and my knife.
But we always are smart though, guys. We had a ride. We had
Yes.
someone come pick us up
Yep.
and take us.
Yep.
We had a lovely time, and it was Terry. Obviously, he's my new favorite person.
That's the
And
senior citizen
he's
she stole
he's
from
my
me.
favorite person / elderly boyfriend / bodyguard driver / everything, what I mean?
BFF.
So he came, picked us up, took us out. I love that he'll just let us do our thing. He's good at conversation, but
He just laughs.
But he'll also just leave us alone too. We can
I
do our
asked
little
him
thing.
recently, I said, what does your son think about you hanging out with Kelly all the time and hanging out with me? I'm like, what is he? He loves
What's
it.
the story?
He loves it.
He loves it.
He's happy for me. Go, Dad. I mean, I was like, I'd be worried. I don't know. I've met us. No I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
But he looked across at me. Terry did, and made eye contact with me when that guy was getting too close to me, and he just raised his eyebrow. He just raised his eyebrow up.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
I shook my head yes.
Yeah, I'm
And he-
okay.
He stood up, came over, big
love
Terry,
Terry.
and he just stood right behind me, right in between me and the guy behind us. And he just stood there. He didn't even say anything at first. He just stood there, and the guy looks back and looks up, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Terry's such a treasure. I
And
just
Terry's
found
just
him randomly.
smiling.
And it's like the best find all year
It
long.
really is.
I came back. I was like, Kelly, I met a good one. This is a good one.
Yes,
So
and then
he's
you
good
didn't
people.
want to introduce me. You're like,
No,
no,
'cause
you're
I knew
not
she was
stealing
gonna steal
Terry from me.
him.
And I was like, wait, I'm not gonna do.
And then she saw him. She's like, stealing him. Done.
I'm sorry.
I can't really argue because Rick lives with me. I can't
Yeah.
one boyfriend's enough. I can't have my 75-year-old boyfriend.
Well, we can't all have it all.
Yeah,
okay?
no.
But,
Rick's not
I-
sharing even with the 75-year-old. No, he's not doing that. He's like, just get home, make me something fried with some gravy.
Right.
Well,
Zaylee-
at least you know.
Zaylee says the other day I've been cleaning my house, deep cleaning, right? And so I'm going through every piece of clothing in this home, and I'm purging the hell.
Oh.
So Zaylee has outgrown some clothes and everything. She was like, "It's Rick." Every time does this fit still? No, it's Rick. It's his fault.
Oh.
Nothing fits anymore. Everything's fried. Everything is fried. I was like, I can't even argue. We got a message from a listener.
We did?
Okay, yes. Okay, so the last episode we talked about all the different places.
I say we like I'm here all the time.
You are. You are.
We did? Yes, we did.
Merrilee's messages give me life, so we did because she's always like, "Did you?" Like she updates me on the podcast. I'm like, I'm so glad you remember because I can't remember shit. I forgot we talked about that. Yes. Okay, so this is from. Look at my glasses are sideways.
Hello.
Inez messaged me on Instagram.
What's her name?
Inez.
That's my middle name.
Oh, it is.
Is it? Mine is Inez.
Let me see. It's Ines.
Okay.
I can't even. Inez, you're Inez. I can't even. I'll butcher this.
That's what you are.
What's it?
You know who you are.
Saravana. Francesca Saravana. I don't know, Inez. It's beautiful. It looks beautiful. It's probably
If only we weren't so country.
Yeah, my redneck. Inez. Inez. We're close to Mexico. You're Inez. Your auntie. So anyway, abuela. So ironically, she's from Rhode Island. So no, she's definitely not pronouncing it Inez. But she's messaged me and she put heard Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Because remember, I brought up the funny names.
Yes, when we were talking charts.
Yep. Shout out on the podcast today. Guess I'm the only listener from here. Haha. Love you girls. I heard you from Kid and from the Third Wheel. I still listen originally from Rhode Island and am back now. Moved to Texas for work from 2007 to 2010 and still listen to the podcast version for Kid and the supporting podcast too, like yours. Let me know if you ever want any other information or inquisitive minds like you both.
We're gonna have to give her a call.
That's awesome.
I just thought that's awesome. I'm
Just
so
to hear her talk.
hear her say.
Can you
her
say
name.
your name for us,
And
please?
you know she's gonna say it, and it's gonna be like so pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
With like some
So
kind.
much better than we could ever do.
I mean, and she's probably gonna sound like normal American. Whereas I'm like, hillbilly ass.
travel.
I'm Inez.
I used to waitress at a cocktail bar in Louisville, and we'd always play games like guess where I'm from, and they could never figure it out because I am from South Georgia, but I do.
Yeah,
not
you don't sound like you're from Georgia.
I don't, and I think it's because I adapted a lot of different
You moved around a lot.
dialects. Yes,
Yeah.
and so Robert kind of teases me because he's like, the closer we get to Georgia,
The more it comes out.
the more it comes out.
I'm the same way with
I
Sensei.
love
I
it.
tell her all the time. And my mom, when we lived here and she would go home to see her family, her accent would thicken up and she'd come home and then mine would thicken up. Proxy. So the two of us together would be like, we'd go from perfectly normal to hi.
Exactly.
And my speech would be like, damn it, you went home for the weekend, didn't you? Yes, I did.
You just undid all that work we
know.
did.
My daughter's dad, he'd come home from work and he'd go, okay, who are you talking to?
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. And my ex-husband used to tease me because my mom would call the house back before cell phones and, she'd call and it'd be the landline. And so she'd call and he'd answer. And she would say, hi. That's how she said hi. Hi. And my ex-husband could nail it because he did not have an accent. And so he'd be like, he wouldn't tell me it's your mom. He'd be like, hi. Hi. Well, can I talk to Zada? How you doing, Scott? Where's Zada? Hi. And so to this day, my kids, someone will come up, my mom, one of them will run and be like, hi. And it wasn't because they heard her. They heard their dad imitate her so much.
Oh gosh,
Because
That's
it was really thick, to put
Yeah.
it lightly. Hi.
Really thick.
I liked it though.
I like it thick.
When I got married, I sold.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say.
Who doesn't like it thick? Come on.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If
I'm not going to lie to you, okay? I'm not going to lie.
When I got married, I sold cars at the time, and I was like 21, and all the guys were like 32 to 45 ish for the most part that I sold cars with, and so I'm the only girl. So they all come to the wedding, and they're like, do your cousins look like you?
Aw.
Like, we're gonna get some of you going on here. I'm like, I mean, kind of, not really. I look more like my dad's side, but my cousins are real pretty, and they are. They're all very pretty girls, and some of them might have danced for a living.
Oh, yeah.
Very attractive ladies.
Attractive ladies.
Yeah, and so they might have been on billboards, but whatever. And so I'm like, yeah, they're real hot. Like, they're super hot, and none of them are going to be interested in you. I'm just going to be honest
I'm going
with
to break it to you right now.
you. You do not make enough money, and you're not attractive enough. You got to have something going on.
Right.
And they're like, and I was like, so they come to the wedding, and one of my cousins who's from San Saba she's beautiful, and she has this thick San Saba accent, and she talks like this. And so they getting cake. She's like, "Hi, y'all want some cake?" And they were like, "Your cousin could not be more beautiful." And then she opened her mouth, and I did not know what the fuck happened. Because I worked in North Dallas, y'all. They were like, I don't know what came out of her. I don't even know what she said. I don't even know what she said. I said, well, she wouldn't go for you anyways.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're good.
I talked about you to a customer yesterday.
Because you were on San Saba?
I was on San Saba.
She texted me and told me I'm on San Saba Street
Yeah.
in Dallas.
Yeah. And it's him and his wife. They're building a house. Well, the house is built anyway, cabinets. I'm doing countertops. So he actually is very familiar with San Saba and knows a lot of people down there, but doesn't know
my family.
Your family.
Yeah.
And he's like, he wanted to know, were you a cow roping girl? You know,
yeah.
And pony and
I did that, but I did that here.
Yeah.
I did that here, but I have plenty of family there that did do it there. Most of them were barrel race. The girls usually barrel race.
Yeah,
my brother was
a
header. He was that's what they call the guy to get the head.
I told him that you that your brother was a cowboy.
Yeah.
And but he didn't know the names.
Yeah, you know.
It was really cool though.
Yeah, it's a neat little town. You're going to go on the next weekend.
Yes.
Well, I guess we're going to wrap up today with we didn't even talk about our resolution. So next week.
Oh,
yeah, well, we get there.
We don't really have
I'm probably
resolutions.
not going to stick to it anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, we're all right.
I'm working on my budget. That's all I got to say. Boring. Sucks. There it goes. There's all my money. Taxes.
I already got drunk a few times, so.
She already broke it. Yesterday, Cosmos.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, and hopefully this makes it out by Friday. Maybe not because I've been sick, so it'll be out as soon as it can be.
So
and
stay
thanks for
tuned.
listening. And if you want to find us on social media, I'm Zada Owens on Facebook. I am my kid is calling me. I'm Z Mamacita on Instagram, and Kelly.
I'm Kelly Lady Pearl on Instagram, and if you want to message us, we have a email, and it is 2sidesinthetruthpodcast@outlook.com. And Merrilee, do you want to tell them how to get in touch with you, or do you want to stay private?
I'm on Instagram. I'm Wiggins1982, and then Facebook Merrilee Saucedo. And so,
Thank you so much for being
Thanks
here
for
with us
joining
today.
us.
Y'all got to meet my best friends.
My best
I
friend.
mean, y'all already know Zada, but you got this is Merrilee.
my best.
The other person who puts up with
Now
me.
we got to bring Sunday, who's the polar opposite of Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. Oh my gosh,
I know.
that's cousin.
Yeah,
That's cousin.
that's her cousin, y'all. Welcome to Texas.
Yeah.
Via Georgia.
She's a new grandmommy yesterday. Again.
We're gonna bring her in to talk about it.
Okay. Love you guys.
And we'll see y'all later.
Thank you guys. Bye. Bye.